Hello, welcome to 5 Minute Lore. This video will be about the mighty Clan Rictus. I'll be discussing some history, notable figures, and interesting side facts about the clan. Clan Rictus is one of the Skaven clans who have a seat on the Council of 13, the closest thing the Skaven have to a government. Their chairman, who also happens to be the leader of their clan, is Cratch Doomclaw. Little is known about Cratch, but he has a robot arm like Venom Snake from Metal Gear, which is just awesome. Cratch is also known for his fierce rivalry with Warlord Nadal, the leader of Clan Moors, who's an excellent warrior and schemer. Despite being the leader of Clan Rictus, Cratch doesn't seem to do very much besides exist, which is fair enough. If I was at the top of the Skaven hierarchy, I'd probably just sit back, relax, and enjoy it too. Treacher is arguably the most recognizable member of Clan Rictus, representing it in Total War Warhammer. Treacher is both the luckiest Skaven alive and one of the most cunning ones too, which is saying something because Skaven are all pretty good backstabbers and planners. Treacher was originally just a lowly clan rat. Clan rats aren't exactly known for having long lifespans, and Treacher wasn't about the whole cannon fodder lifestyle, so he worked hard to gain a promotion. After concocting a cunning scheme to capture a tribe of night goblins alive by spiking their fungus spear of sedatives, Treacher's boss decided to reward Treacher by making him carry the loot and babysit the goblins. Yeah, Skaven are jerks. While his boss was a jerk, he wasn't a very smart one. Him and the other Skaven argued over which tunnel was the right one to head home. Treacher saw an opportunity for both revenge and a promotion in that moment. He gave the chained up goblins some madcap mushrooms and sat back and watched the chaos. Madcap mushrooms are the mushrooms night goblin fanatics take. You know, the insane spinning night goblins. Safe to say, Treacher's bosses did not survive the encounter with the twirling green death machines, and so Treacher would volunteer as their replacement. Ever since then, everything would start to go Treacher's way. If he was a human, you would have sworn he was blessed by Ranald or a leprechaun or something lucky. Treacher was the one who found a tunnel to flank some dwarven guns in the Battle of Blackcrag. Treacher was the one who dug the tunnel into an orc's camp so they could secretly kidnap all his goblin underlings. When the Skaven failed to capture an Imperial boat in its sink, only Treacher made out alive. You're seeing a pattern here, right? This little guy is like a cockroach. You just can't get rid of him. He's managed to ascend to the position of Grand Chieftain of the Deep Warrens in recent times and now leads his own army. Now, you're not going to believe how he got this position. He got it by pretending to be a stalactite and dropping on top of the previous Grand Chieftain. I'm not joking. After this cartoonish plot, he fashioned one of his rival skulls into a good luck helmet for himself. His bosses still like to send him on suicide missions, hoping he'll die one of these days to no avail. Treacher was the most Skaven-y Skaven to ever Skaven. Treacher doesn't appear in the horrible end times. I like to imagine he ran off to wait it out. If anyone could survive the end times and make it to Age of Sigmar, it's Treacher. While Treacher may rule Clan Rictus' home base, Crookback Mountain, in Warhammer Total War, it's not the case in lore. The true ruler of Crookback is Rikrut Sliceblade. Just like Treacher, he's another insanely ambitious Skaven who intends on getting a promotion any way possible. He's constantly scheming to take Cratch's position on the Council of 13. During the end times, he would battle the Slayer King Ungrim Ironfist to be killed. Something interesting about this guy is that he would go into battle carried by other Skaven. Maybe he saw Thorgrim Grudgebearer's setup and thought it looked cool. I don't know. We've talked about some recent figures in Clan Rictus, but let's take a look into their past. Lord Vecteek, Prince of Ruin and Desolation, the murderous warmonger of Clan Rictus, that's a mouthful, was the head of Clan Rictus during the infamous Skaven Wars. During this time period, Clan Rictus had much power over the rest of the Council of 13, and Vecteek would lead the Skaven attacks on the Empire during the awful Black Plague. If it wasn't for Emperor Mandred's Skaven Slayer's ascension to the throne and killing Vecteek, the Empire could have been overrun by the Skaven. After Vecteek's death, Clan Rictus would remain on the Council but be severely weakened. Just because Vecteek was dead didn't mean he was gone though. The Great Horned Rat had made him a Vermin Lord, which is like a greater demon but for the rats. His hand would become a valuable artifact for the Skaven as a result, but one salty Grey Swear swallowed it and replaced it with his own hand because, like I said earlier, the Skaven are jerks. Clan Rictus' home base is located in the Crookback Mountains in the Darklands, neighboring some night goblin tribes, Dawizar, orcs, and whatever other awful things can survive the awful hellscape that is the Darklands. Even though the Darklands are a pretty awful place to live, it is rich in resources like slaves and warpstone. Skaven love both, and Rictus can procure them much easier than most in this location. They also have rich copper and iron mines in the Crookback Mountains. Clan Rictus doesn't just make money off their awful slave trade though. They also extort traders and travelers coming to and from the world's edge mountains for money. Because of all this, they become quite wealthy. Despite their home being far away, Rictus is quite influential in the Under Empire. They lead incursions of the Empire quite often. Clan Rictus isn't just known for their strong economy though. They also have some of the most feared Skaven warriors. Their storm vermin are gigantic black-furred rats who are more violent than your average Skaven. Rictus has an unusually high number of storm vermin and hire them out to other clans to make even more money. Even their rivals, Clan Moors, will hire them on occasion just because Rictus storm vermin are that good and numerous. With such an amazing economy and great warriors, how is Rictus not the leader of the council at this point? Well, they have a bunch of internal issues with many Skaven eager to usurp their bosses and become leader, like Treacher, or an elite unit of storm vermin known as the Death Vermin, who are a major threat to Cratch Doomclaw. Cratch keeps sending these storm vermin on hopeless battles only to see them return. I guess they've been borrowing a bit of Treacher's luck. Diplomatically speaking, Clan Rictus is nothing out of the ordinary for the Skaven. They're constantly playing Clash of Clans in real life against the other clans, but working together when necessary. While there isn't much information on how they interact with the clans besides their hated enemy Clan Moors, I did find out that when settling their home in Crookback Mountains, they almost bankrupted themselves buying Deathglow Bombardiers from Clan Scryer and Packmasters from Clan Molder. They don't have any real non-Skaven friends around them. They enslave the goblins, fight the orcs, and the Dawizar hate Skaven so much they don't even use them as slaves. This shouldn't be too much of a surprise though, as basically no one likes a Skaven, and for good reason too. I'm quite fond of Treacher Craventail. He's a pretty fun character, and I'm glad he made it to Sort of Warhammer. Even if he isn't the best legendary lord, something about this cunning, lucky, despicable little rat has won me over. His tabletop model is kinda ugly though. He kind of reminds me of Ocelot from Metal Gear in a way, or maybe I'm just insane and what an excuse to have Metal Gear rats in my video. His clan's pretty vanilla, but it spawns some interesting characters and it's in a cool location, so I'm happy with it. My apologies if I've sounded off this time around. I haven't been feeling great this week and I hope it didn't reflect in this video. If you like this video, I suggest you jump further down the Warhammer rabbit hole.